Hi guys, this is Crossover Clips Gaming TV and welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to take off that sub-goal thing because it turns out pretty much everything that I try and put on for FM 2020 just gets in the way, so we'll sack that off a little bit. I could probably tweak it and make it fit and get the overlays to work and all that sort of stuff. Actually, the camera's probably a bit sketchy as well, but we'll press on regardless. So I did something because I didn't feel like streaming, and I didn't want to carry on this series without streaming it. That was the main reason for making the jump to Manchester United. But I carried on with my Gillingham save, went back to before I took the United job. As a bit of background for anyone that hasn't seen, I spent 14 seasons at Gillingham. My boyhood club took them into the Premier League, won the Europa League twice, won the Premier League twice during that time, finished 5th, but my job was under serious threat, and since Gillingham doesn't still have the spending power of some of the bigger name teams, I decided to jump ship and try something else and make it a stream series. But I did carry on with my Gillingham series because I didn't feel like streaming, but I wanted to play the game a bit, and went back to a previous save and continued on. And it left me, well, I put myself in a position where I made a move that was a bit of a toss-up that I wasn't sure about between these two players. So for United, I signed Harry Richards on the right, and I will just knock the camera off for a moment so you can see the combined stats between the two of them. On my Gillingham save, I picked up Alexander Ilic on the left, and I sold the Brazilian striker, Jose, that I had to fund that move to pick him up. Had to put in about 30 mil of my transfer budget as well to get the deal done. And just to give you a heads up, with the overlay or the UI that I use for Football Manager, you can see the current abilities of the players in it, which is a little bit of a cheat, I guess. But it gives you at least a rough idea about whether someone is worth looking at or not as a quick snapshot, whether they'll be competitive or not. And then I'll have a look at the individual stats and try and find out how they fit best in terms of the team. And I had a choice between these two. They probably would have cost me the similar amount of money, and I decided to go for Harry Richards instead. So they both play advanced forward. They are both of similar height, and they're both of similar weight, and they are both of similar age. And the story for both of them is the same. They're pretty much at their top level, and they're not going to improve too much. And you can see things are fairly consistent across the board. There's not that much in it. But Harry Richards has a current ability of 174. Ilic has 181. Now, I haven't done this comparison yet, but you can see a couple of things. So the first touch is one that is quite useful for their role that Harry gives one away in. But he does have one extra in finishing, which is a stat that I have always favoured in Football Manager more than anything else, especially when you get to sort of Premier League level and you're not necessarily going to create that many chances. You need someone that's going to put it in the back of the net for you. Now, things like the mentals, they improve with age anyway. So there you go. From the averages, so the physicals are pretty much bang on the same. Alexander has a slight edge in mentals and has a slight edge in technicals, but where those technicals are, so he's got 13 in marking, which is not a whole lot of use really, aside from defending corners, I guess. He's got 3 in long throws, and he's got a bump in first touch, which is the one thing that's going to have a bit of an impact. 2 in technique is going to be helpful for his consistency, and see, penalty taking. So there's a 7-point jump in penalty taking. So on balance, that's going to have something to do with his current ability being boosted by the fact his penalty taking stat is right up there, which is fine. You know, I've got other players that can take penalties, and that's not a big issue. So I think on balance, I made the right call. Having a young English striker named Harry, but not Harry Kane, is going to be a good thing for me going forward. And Alic in the Gillingham save after me selling any strikers that had any real ability. So I'll show you what I had to do. So I had to sell this guy, who has a current ability of 162, to upgrade to a player of 181, which isn't the end of the world. It's not too bad. You can see he's an advanced forward as well. He's got similar stats, but weaker stats in comparison. And I'll show you what he did for us at Gillingham. So well, this is his third season, 25 goals in the first season. Huge player for us. Called right off in the second. And here, 14 games played, 3 goals in the third. So I didn't feel too bad about making that move. And then also to raise the extra money, I had to sell Carlos Tapia, who has already been sold by the new Gillingham manager. And he's about 142, 143. So he had a lot of potential, never really developed into anything, became a rotation option. Because he was versatile, he sometimes played out on the left and sometimes played out on the right for fitness and rotation and that kind of thing, but never hit the dizzying heights of what we wanted from him. And that stayed pretty much the same. I don't think it really increased at all. So he was also a player that made way, but he had a value of about 40 million when I had him for some reason. So the two of them being sold gave me the cash to make a marquee signing. The marquee signing came out, scored 2 in his debut, and after about 4 games in, broke his leg and was out for 5 months. Not ideal. So the options that left me were this guy, who was with me a long old time, player that I like a lot. He's now at Crystal Palace, though, signed for 10 mil. And as you can see from his profile, 142, a similar kind of player. But he is 20 points behind Jose, who pushed him out of the starting spot at Gillingham. And then he is basically 40 points, 30, 40 points behind my current striker at United. So that was a change that just had to be made. And then I also would have been left with this guy. 16 finishing, but he is also 132, so he is a little behind, 24 now. Again, another player that I bought in that didn't develop as much as I would have liked. Played the poacher role, which makes sense with his 16 finishing. I don't know if this is going to show us. It does down the bottom. So here's the thing for him, and it's a shame that I never really managed to get him going, but look at this non-competitive. 26 appearances, 56 goals. And here we go again. So he spent some time out alone. 34 appearances, 52 goals. 32 and 32. So this guy, if you are determined to go on and make a rush, Dev Sense, here we go. So if you want to make a rush for the under-23s league, then he is exactly the guy that you want. But getting him to do it at Premier League level has been a bit of an issue. Brilliant in the FA Cup as well. You get, like, you want to rotate your forward options, you threw him in, and he really set the world alight at that level. But unfortunately, never really got it done at Premier League level, and his potential to develop other areas of his game other than his goal scoring, which would have made him super useful to us, those are rapidly slipping away. So if he still had potential to develop, I maybe would have been tempted to pick him up. The Belgian at Crystal Palace as well, I was maybe tempted to bring him in. I won't do that because he's gone to Palace now and will play a lot more football there than he does for us. But he's the rainy day on a Tuesday in Stoke kind of player that could always do a job and get a goal. He never scored a whole lot, but he had two players. He's pretty much always had players out on the wing that were inside forwards and would produce the goals for us. So you see on the scouting report, it says, sign Alic regardless of the price. Now, it's tempting to go and grab him as well and have them both playing up top and have a 4-2-4 system and a ridiculous forward line, or even a 4-4-2 could work. But there are young players coming through. So Dale Roberts is my man for the future, 19-year-old, already at 131. I've got a couple of other guys as well. Still got Robert Uche at the club, who was a player that I wanted to pick up for Gillingham maybe 7 seasons ago or something like that, and just didn't have the cash to make it work. And I've also got Diogenes here, 149 already at 21, so he's got room to grow. And then Aedy Johnson, another player, 140 with room to grow as well. So I'm more tempted, especially since we're creating the Harry Kane situation Mark II. You've got Harry Kane, and even if he's carrying a bit of a knock, he is going to play. So getting someone that's going to slot in behind him is tough. And also I've got Andreas, who's going to be developing as well. He's at 150 at Cam. And also at 25, this guy is my first choice, Cam, at 177. So aside from pushing him into central midfield to make it work, now the 4-2-4 maybe doesn't suit the squad as a whole. I did play 4-2-4 at Gillingham for a bit, maybe half a season. Worked quite well for me, actually, but yeah, that's not something that I want to be pushing forward with as such. Just going to carry on with this as we are. Cheers to HXDFM for the follow. Good to have you with me. I think I'm charging in on 150 followers if I haven't got there already, which is always a nice spot to be in, especially since I've never really maintained much of a streaming schedule. But we're trying to address that. Okay, game against Honved. So I'm going to rotate heavily here. Let's go put the kids in. We have a very easy group. Let's do that now. See if there's any other changes I want to make while we're at it as well. Now, interestingly, one thing that I'm going to try and do, if I can find him. Let's see what I'm trying to do here. I might play 2 up top for this game. I'm just going to see. I won't have the cash room actually. And didn't I sign a goalie? This is the trouble when I only jump in. I don't jump in as much as I'd like to on this. So I've got 2 young goalkeepers. So neither of these I signed. These were both here. Oh, of course, Juninho is 20. So it's fine. But on the Gillingham, when I attempted to continue on that series, I found this Brazilian who I was able to pick up, and he had a release clause of 17.5 mil, so I grabbed him. in that Gillingham save. I didn't need a goalkeeper, but I didn't have any young prospects coming through. So that was quite a nice little pickup that I was able to make. I was tempted to do that here, but I already have a 20-year-old that's good enough to start. How do I do first season? Well, this is my first season with United. Before that, I was at Gillingham for 14 seasons. So this is where we're at the moment. So 3 points behind the top. Going okay. We have struggled a little bit against the teams that are around us, which is a little worrying. I did go through a bit of a rebuild. And some of the players that I've brought in, they are younger, they have good potential, they are going to develop. It's going to take me a season or two, so I have maybe weakened the side a little bit. Let's see. Youth intake. Still got 4 months before we're going to see this, but healthy number of fullbacks, 2 prospects in the centre of midfield, wide midfielders. Okay. Well, I'm going to need some central midfielders. I think that's an area where I'm good now, but going forward, the next couple of years, a few players might start to age out. All right, so what do I want to do here? Well, Oliveira needs to come out. He doesn't have to come out as such, but I will. He's in my first team. Yeah, Cameron can stay in midfield. I'm going to play 2 up top, so Adi can jump up top. Spalling out for Mika on the right. Mika Hakkarainen, since I brought him in from Gillingham, probably the biggest surprise of this stream season, in a good way. Doesn't make me feel quite so bad about spending £48 million on a 29-year-old. This generally isn't the smartest thing to do. And he's certainly paying for himself. Let's get into it here and see what we can do. I'll remind myself of the league situation here. Let's see, so 3 points clear. Final game of the group stage, I think. Our position is set. But we're in Euro Cup 2. Position that I at Gillingham caused for myself, kind of, by winning on the last day of the season and making sure that Gillingham finished 5th. So I get the Europa League spot. Let's just skimming through. There's no teams that particularly scare me out of who's in our half of the draw. So it's just a chance to give some of these young players plenty of football in Europe. Keep our rotation side No rotation side, our main side fresh for the league as much as we can. Top 3 would be good. I'll quite happily take top 3 with the moves that I made in the transfer window. Expect that we can strengthen again. So Jan with his 5th of the season. I think he's got 18 finishing as well. Pretty impressive for a winger. Just need the rest of his stats to pick up and follow suit. Tight little finish that as well on the half volley. Diogenes with his 7th. He's certainly filling his boots in the European competition. I don't think he's played in the league yet. Barely even gets on the bench in the league team so far. But lots of potential for him to develop as well. Probably going to be one of those players that we develop over the next couple of years and sell. Already valued at nearly 30 mil. But Jan's finishing 18 finishing already and 15 composure to go with it. He has picked up a little knock though, so rather than make that worse, there's no need to be messing around, so Uche can go in. Aside from that, I tend to play everyone through to the end in this because none of them will be needed for the next game. Same with the Carabao Cup coming up against Liverpool. I'll probably play a rotation side in that. Not a competition I'm particularly worried about. Not a competition, like not even the Gillingham board worried about the Carabao Cup. So there's no way the United board are, and the prize money is definitely not worth writing home about. So Billy Spalding has found his spot in the team. Taken by my new signing from my old club. The little clean-up operation from that scramble. But he won't complain. I think Spalding might be a player that I'll look to move on. And that we've probably got 2 more seasons out of Mika maybe before he's going to start to fall away stats-wise. So I'll need to think about rebuilding the right side of my attack. I haven't really started scouting on that front yet. But maybe I'll start thinking about it. Right attack in mid and central defence is kind of the areas where I need to put the most focus in. So Jan probably would have played in that game, actually. It's a shame. But yeah, with Forest in the league coming up, I'll definitely be playing the rotation side again in the Carabao Cup. Easy win predicted for United. We like that. Oh, yeah, Sofian got a hamstring injury, didn't he? I was wondering why Iduche out on the left being suggested. Also, should have thought about this. Sorry about the ASMR mouth noises. I'll try and lean over to my mixer and turn the volume off or whatever for you guys. Started streaming and my throat felt a little tender, so a little soothing sweet should help that a little bit. My desk is littered with soothing sweets and Fisherman's Friends and whatever from commentating Counter-Strike more than anything else, which tends to be pretty intense. Certainly compared to just talking about Football Manager anyway, but I've always got something on hand to soothe it or settle it down. So Liverpool won 2-0. So they've extended their league at the top of the table. Okay, so we're definitely not doing that. Each out the left. That's fine. Let's get everyone back in their usual roles. Of course, I could just leave everyone as they are and leave them playing the roles of the first team. Keep it super familiar, but you know, I tend to just let people play in these roles in the way that suits them best. It doesn't affect too much. You know, having inside forwards rather than wingers, this means that the service that the advanced forward gets tends to be rebounds a little more than is anything else, and balls on the deck rather than headers to have to try and make. So most of this team didn't travel for the European fixture, so that'll be fine. Bit of early pressure. Good save. So nothing much to report after 20 minutes other than my old club Gillingham going down by a 1-0 against Man City. Haven't even had a good enough chance for a replay yet. Let's get something better out of the second half then, boys. Counter-attack. See what we can build in the back then. Good ball from McCabe. How's he done that? Missed his interception. Looked like the defender nodded it in. It's off his left shoulder. I think it might be, you know. Very old-fashioned effort, that. Big bloke up top, nod it down to a little bloke running through. The old 4-4-2 approach. It's got a little defensive in the middle. And Cameron as well. It's got a couple of players struggling for fitness there in the centre. Diogenes is scoring for us in everything but the Premier League, or he's not getting a game. Had a nice professional job. 1-0 away from Forest. We'll take that. So lads, well done. And then we've got the rotation side to come in against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. Just going to go and grab my phone. I won't be a second. Okay. So my Galaxy S8, long overdue an upgrade, but my phone gets sorted out through work and as with everyone with COVID, etc., the pressure's been on a little bit financially. Well, I think we're over the worst of it now. Hasn't been the time to say, can we sort my phone upgrade, please? But it's turned into more of an iPhone now with a battery life, so have to leave it on charge a lot more than I used to, but it's done the job. Okay, he's got a couple of players back. Ben Miller probably will end up playing against his former club at centre-back. I think Andreas probably will end up playing at Cam as well. And your best 11, first season, club info history, best 11 and select season. Best 11 first season, right, okay. I'll leave that up just for a minute. I'll show you the Gillingham one as well. Just to kind of clarify, I wasn't Manchester United manager when this side was put together. So I guess for anyone that's interested here, so this is me, Gillingham all the way up, and then Gillingham best 11 from first season. There's some names in here. Ross McCormack. "34 appearances, 8 goals." Yeah, he showed such promise. Okay, so team selection, and then I want the... I tend to use quick pick a lot and then tweak from there. So we've got Spalding, he's going to be playing. Miller, who I signed from Liverpool as a rotation option, we'll keep him in the side. Andreas at Cam. Have I got someone that I can throw in at left wing if I need to? Not really. I'll have throw Sofian on the bench just as an option there. Okay, so let's go. Not expecting to be pulling up any trees in this game. Because Liverpool may bring a weakened side as well. No, they have absolutely not. They're going for this. So this I don't mind that much. Liverpool are top of the league at the moment. I think we're 3 or 4 points behind. So if they want to knacker out their first 11 to get one over on us here, they are more than welcome. As Andreas slots one in. One thing I struggle with is getting cams that score a lot. I don't have many cams that score many goals for us. I think that's maybe just the system I play, but then I get goals from my central midfielders, I get goals from my 2 wide players, I tend to get goals from my striker as well, so it's not the end of the world. But I've had a lot of fairly high-rated cams. Oftentimes, actually, where the cam spot has been my highest current ability rated player. But none of them have ever really been goal machines. Just odd, really, how that seems to happen. Playing different roles as well. So Alvarez then bringing it level. Just before half-time. Good time to score. These guys have been playing okay. Oh. A little bit of flappy. Eric Alvarez, okay. There you want. He's a centre back. 190 current ability. That's mental. 14 heading, 8 long shots, 6 finishing. He's scored 2. We're getting put to the sword by a centre back, boys. He doesn't have to put Diogenes off at the other end as well. Think about a little swap around. Give AD a couple of minutes up top. Oh, and that's the end of that. That's fine. Liverpool want to use 190 current ability players. It's a hat-trick for Alvarez. It would have been. I know, Chara, okay. But if Liverpool want to use this quality of player against 0 first teamers, I guess Uche, you could say, is first team, rotates into a number of spots. But other than that, I haven't used anyone that's really going to feature in the league for us. Okay, Arsenal next and then Spurs. So a couple of tough league games coming up. So while we're at it, let's go back to so I can show you here as well. First season, United finished 6th. Oh no, first season is probably going to be 19-20. So finished first, 5th, 4th, 3rd. Couple of seasons where they got first, but finished 7th behind the other Manchester club, and then behind me at Gillingham in 5th. So we'll certainly be looking to improve on that this year. I would take top 3. Top 3 will be absolutely fine if we can get to that point. I think everyone will be pretty happy. Bill Sawyer's got some potential. He's decent. Next game, Treat Club. Salah takes Vitesse hot seat. Is that yeah, okay, different Salah, that's fine. I just think that would be one thing that they probably would have needed to update in the database, but Spalding out. Arsenal next, 6th. Then West Brom. I see an easier game on the horizon. Juninho, I'm sure, will shake off his cold and be ready to go between the sticks. Don't know why having the club treat him is really going to help with a cold. Don't think doctors could really do a lot about that. And Dale Roberts will be sticking with Sunderland. That's fine. He's still a little behind in the pecking order as far as slotting in as a backup striker. But maybe next season there'll be a few opportunities for our hot prospect, or our hottest prospect, to get some football. So I'd try and get out of the habit of saving before every game as well, but I keep getting little system crashes, black screens and that sort of thing, so it's worth saving our progress as we go. And let's see if we can stop Arsenal's good run. Put pressure on Liverpool as well to get a result in their next game. Depending on the goal difference sitch, we may leapfrog them. They will have a game in hand. So what I am going to do already here, I think, is... Oh, we've got Pete in goal. Fair enough. We didn't quite get fit enough then. But I'm going to notch up the tempo. The tempo thing, in simplistic terms, how I understand it, is that if you're giving away possession too much, then drop the tempo down. If you are holding stack low to possession but you're not creating a lot, then you can crank the tempo up, and that's kind of the balance, chances and possession. So at the moment we haven't even got a highlight, but we do have 75% possession. Means that we can afford to go one more. At least until we get a goal or a chance. Could do with an offside flag here. We don't get one. Oh yeah, he's getting played on. Perez played him on. I'm going to have to go for it now. The trouble is, all these teams like the Arsenals and the Tottenhams, even sort of Leicester and Chelsea and like West Ham, I think we struggled with. I can't remember now, but that sticks in my mind that we had trouble against them. Let's freshen up in a couple of spots. Or an A spot. Oh, wow. Good goal. Fair play. Smashed it through the crowd. Chance for the blue side of Manchester to leapfrog us here in a minute. So a chance for Liverpool to extend their lead on us. And Tottenham in 4 days on Boxing Day. Away as well, long old trek down. I'm guessing in that situation the players would travel on Christmas Day. Can't see you wanting to do a 3-hour coach or, yeah, 3-hour coach ride on Boxing Day on the day of. This West Brom can fight back a bit of pride. Looks like some other games been played. Third. So City have leapfrogged us. Liverpool dropped points by the looks of it. Still super tight. We're extending a bit of a lead now on 8th, but everyone else is still very much within touching distance of us. And we definitely want to be doing better than 7th, 8th. Thanks a lot for the follow. Demay. Probably butchered that. Apologies. Thanks for jumping on and checking out the stream. Lone player to return. Dale Roberts. Okay, I thought they had an extension sorted. There's 36, yeah. Odd. Then the extension's been confirmed. Okay, fine. I probably would use him, you know. I might have him as my bench option, my second bench option. But no, so we'll leave him there. He's going to get football. First made for Brad Sheriff. Don't say bids contain sizable wage contributions. Okay, that's fine. 140. Valued at 8.5 mil. Left wing. So Uche. Is he ever going to get a look in? Dealt with all the offers. Oh, right. Okay. Fine, so they've accepted it. That's right. That's what I would have done anyway, I think. But a decision has been made. Okay. All looking good. Let's jump into it. See if we can create some chances earlier this time. It's a similar pattern here, isn't it? We can't create anything. How about now? Counter-attack. Oh, smashed it off the post. Unbelievable. Right, come on, boys. We need to create something. How's the man? Oh! Could have put his boot through that. Try one of those no backlift knuckleball kind of attempts, isn't he? Trying to slot it in top corner. Oh, that's not gone to plan, is it? Back post. Percy's had a shocker. Didn't even jump. Time to make some changes. Mick has done nothing last couple of games. Harry Richards has done nothing last couple of games. Sofian's done nothing. Let's make a full complement of changes and see what we can do. McCabe off the line, nice one. Needed that. And Perez gets robbed. Gives the ball to their best player, and luckily their best player is questionable, but then that says something about me. Uche gets out jumped. Oh dear. Okay, well that's going to drop us down a little bit, I think. How does that leave us? Fourth. Leicester creeping up. So, to be fair, that league position is round about how I expected we were going to end up. And I'm not surprised that we're struggling against some of the teams around us, because I figured that was going to be the case this season. And next season would be the proper push on. But still, it's nice to get everything clicking all at once. So West Brom is a bit more of a winnable game, and then we've got Gillingham, my old team, coming up as well. We did put them to the sword last time out. I'll make a few changes to the starting lineup for this game against West Brom. See if that freshens things up just a little bit. Gillingham takeover rumours, oh yeah. Did go through a takeover at Gillingham. And they plan to replace him with Tony Mowbray. The new owners thankfully decided against that. How embarrassing would that be? Replaced by Tony Mowbray. I don't know if we're even in the Premier League when that happened. I think we might have been. Okay, let's go. So they're suggesting putting Devine in at left back. 25-year-old. I might do it, you know. Let's give him a run. Why not? He's done a job in their rotation side. Right, want to make a few changes. So, I'm going to stick Jan out for Sofian, who hasn't performed. That's put a decent partnership there. Going to give Andreas a run at Cam. Richards. Going to stick with... Do I stick with Mika? I think I'll stick with him. Spalding's got interest in him. Leicester are to be interested. Put a decent bid in. Leicester, 40 mil. There or thereabouts. You can have him in January. I want to try and get that done. The trouble is, though, the players that aren't... I don't know, I'm waving a screwdriver around, by the way. That's a little odd. Just tend to fidget and like to do stuff with my hands. But yeah, a lot of the players that I'm looking to shift who aren't really good enough for what we're looking to do are English players. And I do quite like to favour English talent. I did a series a couple of FMs ago on YouTube where I took Manchester City and used their huge spending power to create the best all-English team that I could. And Yeah, the England setup was pretty much Manchester City, Manchester City, Manchester City, Manchester City, all the way through the team. And I figure the way to make England better is to have all of the English players playing together week in, week out in the league. It did work. It was a good experiment. So already we throw Jan out on left wing, and within 2 minutes he's created an opportunity. So clearly that's worked quite well. But yeah, I do favour English talent. Big reason that Harry Richards became my choice at striker. And I don't necessarily want to offload the English guys that we have who are rotation players, but if they're not good enough to get... Well, that's the wrong way to put it, I think. No. Oh, that's a shame. But if they're not good enough... No. I don't even want to start with good enough. If they're not going to be able to develop into players that are good enough, even if it's going to take 3, 4, 5 seasons to get them there, then really I need to use those spots and that sort of time in the team for players that are going to develop into players that have that capability to jump into the first team and be good enough. Yeah, I'd rather have a young player in the team who's sort of 140 to 150 current ability that will develop into something useful than to have a player that's 140, 150 that isn't going to get any better but is English. Yeah, that's the balancing act. As Jan has got 2 assists. Goal for Andreas. I was talking about cams that don't score goals for me. He's starting to pop up with a few. Now, he didn't for Gillingham. That's interesting. But maybe here he can. Let's make sure we bring this game home, though. So this is the problem I've had with Mika all the time I had him at Gillingham. Injury prone. And I haven't really got a whole lot of backup in that position either. Got players that can play there, but aside from Spalding, no one that can really play there well. And there was me thinking I was going to sell him in January. I mean, I still could, of course, but I need to get a player in that's going to be equally effective now in the first team. Just changes my approach a little bit. Whereas the Gillingham game is on the first day of the transfer window, so I'll have a little look at it. We'll see how bad the injury is as well. Richards giving catching practice to the goalie. So this pings us back into second, but there are a few teams around us yet to play. David Fernandez, I might have to try and rest him somehow. It's both of my midfielders actually are in this situation. They're just knackered. So let's do that as well. Andreas can play. He can kind of play in centre mid. And I can do chat cam. Hopefully this will give me that window so I can bump him up to play striker as well. Harry. Nice. That's a finish. Martin, is Coney go back to West Brom? That's Frankie Coney, okay. I had a lad that I signed from West Brom at Gillingham, Martin Coney, left winger. Dropped out the side quite early doors. Fractured wrist. I'll send this to a specialist then and get that fixed. And then we'll have a little look at the transfer market, etc. Let's do suggest transfer targets. Right wing. So this is probably more money that I want to spend. So, for a start, so let's do 15 to 23 out in the right wing. 50 mil. Well, that's not a bad move then, is it? I think 37. 45. Frankie Coney, we've just played against, 18-year-old. 127. Potential to develop. Sorry. How old's that report actually? So that's from 2035. Okay, so from today. So he's not going to be good enough, but we do have option here. Currently operating at Premier League level, 19 to 37 mil. And now if we go just on value, who have we got here? I mean, this is the play if I can make it work. So what's my percentage of fee retained? Is that going to be in Club Vision? I should know this, of course. So how much are they going to let me have for 40% of transfer revenue is made available? 40%, so that's not going to give me anything really. Trying to figure out what move I want to make. So the move is basically sell Spalding, sign potential player. Now this guy's 145, Spalding's 150 something, 151 I think, 157. So it's another one of those moves where I'm basically taking a hit. But I'm taking a hit now to get better later on. So he's a winger as well. Currently operating at Premier League level. Be a squad player. Could operate in the winger role as a potential replacement for Billy Spalding. With potential to develop. Does he have good? So he's got good crossing, decent dribbling. He's quick enough, passing techniques there. Atletico Madrid and Barcelona want him. Right, well this means then I need to get him for about 20 million. 31. Well, this is going to probably work. So I need to get him for... Let's do 50 there. I could probably make this even cheaper. Just go skip on and then I'll come back to this. I'm also going to offer the clubs and see what kind of money we can get for them as well. See if anyone's interested in what sort of bids they're going to throw. 49.5 mil to Leicester. That's what we want. So that's going to give us room in the wage budget. And if I'm getting... $49.5, I should have done 50, but whatever. Times by 40%, 19.8. So I need to get this guy in for less than 19.8, including fees and all of that stuff. So if I do make an offer, I'm going to do 17.5. I'm going to do 30% of profit from next. And after international appearances, 20 games, I'm going to stick 15 mil in there. This terms 32. Now that's not going to fly. I need to get this cheaper. I'm going to get another 4 mil out of that other player, the left winger. This is already turning into too much money. One of the board are going to say, one of the board are going to even block that. So Hewitt, a new contract. All right, keep him about. Oh, I don't have a director of football, I guess. So, let's see. Director of football. I get Tommy Johnson from Gillingham. You up for coming over, Tommy? Playing at a strong level of competition. My old director of football doesn't want to come to me because he doesn't like the level that we're playing at. Didn't Aguero become... No, he retired. Right. Who can I get? Staff search. At director of football for me. If there's any names that I recognise. Maracani, Bernardo Silva. Oh, done. Absolutely done. If I can afford him, of course. This probably isn't going to fly, you know. Oh, yeah, okay. Emil Forsberg as director of football. Now, that probably won't mean a lot to anyone watching compared to like Heung-min Son was in there. as an option, and Icardi and some pretty decent name players. But I had Forsberg in my FIFA 19 foot team, my ultimate team, and he was a big player for us at Cam. So let's bring him in, why not? So odds on favourites here. Might go for a quick coffee break in a minute. Going for coming up 2 hours or after this game. As a cup of coffee is the tier 1 emote that you guys would get if you decided to subscribe. And tight Achilles, that's fine. He should be available for the Gillingham game. FA Cup third round coming up as well. Chance me to use my new winger if I can get that done. 55 mil. I'm not going to be able to get that done. That's mental. Where are these numbers coming from? So I've got 9 mil, so I'm going to get about 3.5 out of that. So I could go to 20. Only 60, 80 million pounds. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's cheaper than what they were looking for, and it's performance related. So he's still got to play 20 games for France, but he probably will do 50 league appearances. Oh, this is probably where the board are going to come in and say, we need you to cancel this deal. This is terrible finances. And it absolutely is terrible finances. So one of these emails going to be no. Okay, they haven't told me to sack the deal off. Well, that's a good sign. The trouble is here as well. I'm going to have to offer no fees and get this done on performance related. Right, so okay, so winning the Premier League. So can't do that. I can't do that. That can only go into there. Nope. Not going to happen. Let's try again once I've got... let's try again once I've got Billy out. And then that will also free up a bunch of room in my wage budget. Also means I could probably do a little more. Yeah, I could do more of my wage budget. I could probably do a little more in the transfer budget as well, as long as I know what money's coming in. 3.2. Oh, there's no money in that. There's absolutely no money in that whatsoever. But I bet Sheriff's on decent amount of money, 45 grand a week, something like that. Okay, so Spalding does start here. Potentially moving to Leicester, who are there or thereabouts around us. Chasing us down, in fact. Right, so let's go then. Against Gillingham. Against my former club. Another one where obviously I expect nothing but a win. _25th appearance for the club. Robert Uche wanted to sign in for Gillingham about 10 years ago. Couldn't afford him, obviously. Oh dear. We're a goal down to Gillingham inside 10 minutes. Jason Skinner's playing at Cam. How? How is Jason Skinner playing at Cam at Premier League level now? I mean, he's got the potential to grow, but 130. Starting him early. Come on then, boys. Pull this back early. Add to McCabe. Good ball in. To be Uche to take this, maybe? I think his penalty stats are decent. Well, it'll be Sofian. Uche, yeah. Right, the keeper. Oh. No problem for Rick Flecken to deal with that. Straight at him. O'Connor. So Gary O'Connor, very good player. Very effective winger, but He doesn't have the finishing stats. He didn't really score many goals whatsoever. Which I think is why he ended up playing for Gillingham rather than going on and be a world class. Oh, come on. That's turning us over. My old club sitting down in 12th, the lowest league position that they've probably ever had in the Premier League, apart from our first season. In fact, no. I think in our first season we got inside the top 10. I think we had a hot start. Really fell off towards the back end of the season. I'm going to check that in a minute. At the lowest league position, or potentially the lowest league position they've ever had, when they're not under my leadership. They're seeing us off. We've missed a penalty. That one was close. That needed saving. Sofiane, my star player, has been absolutely horrific. He's supposed to be my star player. I've never really, from minute one of sort of getting to the club, I've never been a huge fan of his. He has produced some results. You know, and I've thought about maybe making the move. He's come in and popped up with a few assists, for example, but I feel like, judging by the amount of money that he's on per week, I could definitely think about making a swap there. And we just completely fallen apart at the back. It's all over the shop. Still leaves us in third, just about. Oh, the left back's done it as well. Clark Jackson. No. And Janita. My midfielders, central midfielders are knackered again. So that's where my last substitution needs to go. Jeffrey. If that went in, it would have made it all worthwhile. But thanks, guys. That was awful. Thanks to my old club for coming to Old Trafford and slapping four past us. Janino shows why you shouldn't put a Brazilian in goal. That wasn't good enough. Got the FA Cup coming up, thankfully, where I'm not too worried about the result there. And I definitely, after that, need a coffee. So what I'm going to do is, this isn't going to work because it's me trying to do a production thing on the fly. Oh, it has. Okay, cool. Well, I'll leave you with this and a few tracks, and I will be back in a couple of minutes' time with a coffee, ready to go for about an hour longer, up to about 7 o'clock.
From the past, and I can't help but wonder if this world is sacred to me, to me. Your words are so damn loud. At night, I can't stay here beside you. 'Cause my pain grows way too giant. Your electric heart shakes me out of love. I don't wanna feel like this. I'm alone burning here like this. Your electric heart shakes me out of love. I don't wanna spend my mind like this. I'm alone burning here like this, like this, like this. I feel the real you lives in the cloud. Down here, you can't figure this out. I hope you'll be different with me. Like this, nothing keeps me here. Your electric heart shakes me out of love. I don't wanna feel like this. I'm alone burning here like this. Your electric heart shakes me out of love. I don't wanna spend my mind like this. I'm alone burning here like this, like this, like this. Deep in my heart, I hear you calling, but I won't let you in. I'm so afraid that I'll keep on losing, but you're whispering, trust in me. Love me. Open up your heart and let our love begin. Trust in me.
Okay, guys, welcome back to it. You forgot to unmute my mic again. That's a shame. Never mind, we're back to it. So, just to kind of explain what I'm thinking on this Billy Spalding thing, to wait for his transfer to Leicester to hopefully get confirmed, is so this is going to sound a little odd, but I'm just trying to justify it to myself as much as anything else, really. If he was at Gillingham, sort of mid to high 150s ability out on the wing, then I'd be pretty impressed. But here at Manchester United, having that as the stats, being in your mid-20s, not really being able to improve on that, it's a bit of a problem. And then because he's in the winger role predominantly, rather than being in the inside forward role like Mika Hakkarainen is those kind of players tend to produce, they seem to produce a little less anyway. They do good work, of course, putting balls in for your striker and that sort of thing, but there's less of the cutting inside and producing goals of their own and whatever. So at least on the face of it, it looks like they are doing less and they're making less happen. So for me to go and then swap that out for a younger player that may take a little while to develop, but you know, you can kind of let that slide. If you've got a winger that isn't really producing a lot at your level, swapping them out for a winger that may also not produce that much for that level to begin with, but could come out and surprise you and will one day be miles above, probably in a couple of seasons' time. Be absolutely flying. No, you can't have Al-Bashat. He's playing quite regularly for us, so we won't be making that move. Forsberg's coming in as my director of football. That's awesome. So I tend to only really use the director of football for transfer suggestions, just to give me some players to have a look at to begin with, and for contract renewals. Just makes it super easy when you've got 20 members of staff. You can just select them all, tell your director of football to get on with renewing their contracts. Much quicker way of doing it. Trial offer. And so 1.36, and I've got money in my wage budget as well. Right, okay. Now we're going to start to get somewhere. So hopefully, if all goes to plan, see you an offer for Cameron. Well, I'm not surprised you want Johnny Cameron, because you don't really have a cam. No, I'm gonna keep Johnny Cameron because he's useful in the rotation side, just playing at centre mid. So I'm going to reject that. I'm going to reject all transfer offers for him. I can see why Gillingham want to do that, because they don't have anyone to play Cam, but then you just change formation, surely. Harry Richards, 1 to 3 days. Huh. Keeps getting little knocks and wear and tear issues and whatever. A little worrying. He won't be playing in this game in the cup, though, so not the end of the world. Kind of hoping I can get this Spalding a right wing deal done. No. I could do without that. Rumour that takeover. In the process of a board takeover. Oh. Right, well that probably means I can't sign people then, doesn't it? Let's have a little look at Eric, for example, who I can't afford. Okay, so I can still do business, but maybe I want to try and get... Now they won't let me do it. Which is predictable. Need a backup plan. And who's that backup plan going to be? I mean, someone with a release clause would be incredible. $252, right, okay. Yeah, I get the message, guys. I'm going to find myself in a spot where I find myself in a spot where I've shafted this, aren't I? I'm not going to have cover in that position. But will I have a backup plan? Who have I got on the youth team? So, under 23s. So, Ben Green's out on loan. $102. Good potential, though. I think what I'll have to do then is move to senior squad, available for under 18s. Yeah, okay. Could have given myself a problem I didn't expect. Meanwhile, FA Cup against Brighton. Guess the next option is to sign the best young English attacking right winger. At whatever their current ability is. And hope Mika stays fit. Yeah, that's quite wide. Spalding had to go, though. Spalding was always going to go. See if the old rotation side can nick us one here. King. Wow, okay. So he makes that chance. Completely shanks the earlier one that he had that was definitely the much easier of the two. It's a good ball. Johnny Cameron. Take a bow, son. You don't save those. Yeah, you absolutely don't. Can Johnny play right? No. I play through the centre. At the death. That kicks us on. I say because I've used a full rotation side. 4 cup games. It doesn't really matter if we have replays or that sort of thing. It's just an extra game for these guys as they develop or just keep them ticking along. Good ball. Andreas is popping up with goals. I've got cams that can score a few. It's Andreas in the rotation side and Johnny Cameron, who's a cam that's playing at centre mid. Bristol City next in the league. Non-negotiable offer of 29 million. Well, if they accept that, how about if I did a and then if we added into it, just out of interest. I'm sure they won't. And with the kind of deal that we tabled beforehand. All right, let's do. So if we did after international appearances, throw 40 mil into it. Engine Excel. Okay. $39.5. Of course, I think it's unacceptable. It's the current financial situation. Oh, Okay, I see the point. The finances are shafted. Spawning set to sign for Leicester, right. Let Johnny go on loan. If I press through to the next day, is that going to put the money... my account? So 21.19. And 2.8, yeah. Only 1.19. No, this isn't going to get done. So who can I get instead? Sort by value. So we want to do 20 mil. Let's see if that goes for now. And Leicester in the FA Cup. Get to face our former player. Brilliant. Come on, Chelsea. Give me a young English winger. Come on. You can do it. Rejected, right. So the board's not going to come in and say, no, you're not doing that. Rah, 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 rah. Clint Lambert at Lazio. Maybe. So this is something that we could probably get done. 26, okay. So that's another one that's got blocked. How about if I take off the... I mean, the thing is, they might let me do this because he's worth something. So if we do percentage of next sale, 50%, let's just see, 140, right, okay, no, never mind. It's around this transfer listed. because that would make it easier. Yanni Lambert already got a deal. If I 137, no, okay, that's not going to work. So the board haven't blocked this Chelsea lad yet. I just need to get them to agree to a deal. Now let me go to 60 for him. Got the wage budget. I could probably cash these in as well if I have to. In fact, let's do that. Oh, that's owing 2 mil to Leicester. 565k, that's not going to do a lot. Is no news good news on this Beanie situation? Because he'd probably start. He probably would start for me ahead of Mika. And then I'd just do the rotation thing. Again, the board aren't stepping in on these, though. This is probably a good sign. I just need to get the right... Bristol City and then Newcastle United. A couple of easier games than the league, at least. And now they want to block it. Ugh. .82. Let's do those. Every bit helps. He's a regular starter. Honestly, the struggle. Now, who did Brighton bring on against us? Just out of interest. I'm sure there was a scout report on him. No, it won't be him. Right. Alexander Lopez, who's this? Gillingham, so I just signed him. Nah, I can't do that. Mistakes have been made. How about loan listed? I feel like Chelsea won't let me have, and Liverpool again won't let me have these players on loan. Difficult. I've got around this before, but like similar situations to this, I just need to think outside the box a little more. Alright, let's do nationality is English. Frankie Coney, that's who I was thinking of. Right. Attributes profile 127. 18-year-old. Inverted winger and inside forward. Even this isn't going to go, is it? End of season with a optional future fee of 80 mil. AFC Wimbledon League One. Oh, on loan from Arsenal, right? That makes sense. Oh dear, Ollie. That experiment definitely didn't work out. Yeah, we'll cancel the deal. Fiorentina hire Zidane as manager after getting sacked from Wolves. So he's slipped a bit, hasn't he? Oh, that's annoying. They're going for 29 million and they try and have us over a barrel because we're Manchester United. Right. New plan. Oh, he's got a release clause of 101 million. Right. Well, we're not hitting that then, are we? 83. Nope. Fine. Take him. Didn't want him anyway. Right. So let's see if I can get this done. 20 million. Percentage of next sale. I want 43. Right. So 20 million. After international appearances, 30. Ugh. New plan. 15 to 23. English. Any position. $100 right. Who can I get in any position? And this Clint Lambert thing has potential. Let's do percentage of next sale instead. Chop that out of there. Bump that up to 22. Yeah, right, okay. Do I like Clint Lambert? I think I do. Oh, boys, come on. This is brutal. Right. So where do I need help? Left back, centre back. Both his left backs, actually. Why do I need the players left back, isn't it? Or centre back? Oh no, he's 40 mil. Brad Hall, 20-year-old. Well, this guy, 90 mil. Come on. No way. This is ridiculous. Wayne Edwards. 22. Right, we got one I can afford. There's something. $18.75. Right, fine. Let's drive this deal down a bit then. Let's do 15. Let's change the next sale. If I can just sign a player in a position that we can use, bonus. I'm going to so this guy's 17. A lot of room to improve. But he's got 14 long shots, 17 technique. Bit of pace to him. Let's give him some games and see what happens. Give him the start against Bristol City. This is far from ideal, to say the least. We'll address the right-sided issue next season. I think with Uche and Mika, we're fine on the right side. We've got options. Well, that's terrible. Okay, that's a good ball. Harry. Harry. '18 finishing, and he does that with it. So Hugo's been non-existent. So that's McCabe. Little 1-2. That's a good ball. Good stuff. Fraser McCabe, 4th goal of the season from left back. It's good work from him. Oh dear. Right. Ha. Ha. That was terrible. It's absolutely horrific. Like, if there was ever a attempt on goal that deserves a substitution, that would probably be it. How about loans? Can I find someone I can loan, maybe? So, right wing. Ditch the age thing. Ditch the English thing. Listed for loan. Here have we got Jamie Norton, who they probably won't let me have. On 51. First thing. Okay, transfer listed by request. Fine. So Tejera's coming in next year. 122. All right. And there's always a chance that board takeover goes through. Okay. Went back to the old favourite of signing all the recommended high potential players So there's a centre back. It's a cam that could be useful. Another centre back. And then we're players going against Newcastle. And then I think I'm going to call it there. Yeah, 3.5 hour stream roughly by that point. So he's got a release clause of 14 mils, so that's probably what they're holding out for. So Gary Watt, centre back. Midfielder. It's 2036, that's fine. Out of interest. Retrains a striker, no, that's fine. We'll see what he does for now. Right, so that leaves me 8.64. How did Newcastle have better odds? I mean, I know we're playing pretty bad, but is it that bad? Cheers for the follow, buddy. Much appreciated. Final game of this sesh then. Let's see if we can give you a good one to finish on. No, not going to let me have this player, are they? Yeah, I'll sack that off. It's getting to the point where the board are going to say, he's too expensive, you can't have him for that. And of course, they're bang on right. It's like 'cause I'm desperate because I've sold my second choice right winger. Right, so I am a fan of yours, Johnny, but we won't be doing that. Yeah, that's fine. And Yilmaz can drop into centre mid. That's all good. I'll play Jan out on the left because he seems to be doing a lot better so far. International duty with the Brazil under-20. Mate, we've got league games. We've got league games. Why are you going off playing for the Brazil under-23s? How have I missed that? Oh, unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe I've missed that that was happening for a start. That's a shocker. Let's see how we can. Let's see how we can get on here anyway. Need a win. See if we can get our foot on the gas early. And then Jan. Decent little ball in, testing. Nice little one-touch stuff. Yeah, and beats his man. Off the side netting, 18 finishing. Maybe would have expected better than that. Nice for Mika to have a good game as well. There's a lot riding on his shoulders now. I decided he was the guy. And then I've sold the player that I decided wasn't the guy. So I don't have any route to come back now. Harry Richards, 17 finishing. Or is he 18 as well? Yeah, he's 18 as well, I think. Good ball from Mika to the back post. 18 finishing doesn't apply when you're heading the ball, though, unfortunately. And as you saw by that failed attempt, heading is definitely not Jan's strong point, and we've conceded again. Unbelievable. I mean, this Newcastle side are flying. They've really turned their season around. in terms of their recent form and that sort of thing, but still. Oh dear. Well, it was fun while it lasted. VAR. Yeah, VAR. Two 0 down at half time. Looking at the rankings, no one's playing particularly bad. I'm just losing. Actually, why did I do that? I've got a striker I've just put on. There we go. Jake, nice. Let's up the tempo. Get a few more forward plays going. Make a good delivery. So bring it now, boys. Point will do. Point is to get us a bit further away from Arsenal. Good ball. Sofiane, come on. Needs to do better than that. Oh, ah, it's hit the post. Offside anyway, but offside. Yeah. So I sold a player I couldn't replace. I've lost a bunch of games. My goalie's off playing international football while we've got Premier League games. That's quite disappointing. Oh well, never mind. You're going to have some good sessions and some not so good. At least Jan's not out for too long. Okay, I think we'll call it there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Nearly a 4-hour stream, which is always good. Just try and put some time into the game and the like and get a regular schedule going. Thank you for those that have jumped on board and followed. That may well put me over 150 followers now, which is cool. Nice little milestone to get to. There'll be Football Manager content. There'll be some Valorant. There'll be some Counter-Strike. So plenty of action available here on this channel. I'm going to try and ramp it up more as well and keep a bit more of a regular schedule. Thank you very much for joining me, and catch you soon.